middle of an episode, right? Like we stopped an episode.
Yeah, we're starting a new one right now. This is 11.
Ooh, episode 11.
That's right.
All right.
Snake eyes,
Lucky,
baby.
it's a lucky number.
That's right.
Or so they say.
I mean, rolling 2 1s. Arguably, this could be the worst episode we ever do.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dungeon Guild Legends of Calberothe. I am your resident dungeon master, Seth Hurley. Joined today, and as always, by Jordan Horne playing Alor.
How's it going?
Hey.
I almost said greetings, and then I was like, wait, that's what Jahan says.
Yeah, coming in a hostel today. Just kidding.
Distracted as always.
And yes, Jahan VonTrapp playing Yibs.
Well, now I can't say greetings.
Fare thee well.
Hark, ye. What do you think? I'm workshopping.
Alright. Yeah. Last time you guys finished up the Dark Lake arc. You guys found Mosk's kind of compound. You found that he and his bounty hunters had taken over a river lock, and that the flood you guys caused from breaking the dam had lodged your boat into one of the gates. And that everyone on that boat had been taken hostage. As the two of you separately made your way through each side of the lock, solving your problems differently, Yibs, attempting to trick people and fighting them head on, and Alor kind of Tom and Jerry trapping people in the best way possible. Both met up with Jimjar, who was on the connecting bridge, who told you that Mosk was below you guys, waiting for someone to go open the cage to pounce on them, and that he was intending on capturing you guys as well. So rather than fall for a trap, you guys set up your own, using Yibs' brand new rope of entanglement to tie him up, along with the drow poison arrows that Alor had accumulated, along with her new bow to increase her chance to hit. You guys managed to tie Mosk up and knock him out with arrows in a round and a half.
Let's go.
And after that, you guys freed the rest of your friends. Everyone was back together, and then in order to deal with the incapacitated Mosk and to further prevent him from harming anyone in the Underdark, Alor, Bukido, and Jimjar pushed his unconscious body into the Dark Lake.
And that's another one for the vault.
Another one for the vault. We're not going to think about it. I suppose I was a little inaccurate. I said everyone was back together, but that is not true. You guys were about to go out and search for the missing Turby, who Alor and Stool had encountered as a small werewolf, kind of freaking out and trying to find anyone else to attack in the caves. And I suppose that's where we are now. Mosk is dead, figuring out how to find this boy.
Nope.
Alright, so did everyone come back and reaccumulate after, or... Because I remember Ron and Yibs were off playing in the armory or something.
Yeah. I picked up a sling.
That's right, you did get a sling. And you said... Did you say you were grabbing swords for everyone who didn't have one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Now everyone has a basic sword.
Now, that doesn't mean they can use that basic sword, as I've figured out the hard way, but they still haven't.
But they certainly do have one now?
Yes. At the very least, they look mildly capable. You know, just
and that's all that matters.
Small percentage less chance they're going to get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so you guys came back. One Mosk lighter. Alor is going to seek out Yibs.
Hey
man. find anything good in the armory?
I'll just kind of, I'll like raise one eyebrow, even though I don't have eyebrows, and look at you, kind of like slinging my sling along, just like spinning it idly. Yeah, this should clear up some long range issues I've been having, as long as I keep a steady supply of rocks.
Oh, we're on a boat. Probably no rock. We'll get you some rocks when we go into those caves.
Yeah. Yibs is gonna pull from his pocket the piece of amethyst crystal that nearly killed Ront and go, I figured this thing could take somebody's eye out one day.
It buried itself in my chest. I'm sure it can do some damage.
Right? Not too bad. And then I'll throw it in the air and
Save
then
it for a good time.
Yeah. So, did you,
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, it's all figured out. It's good.
Was it easy?
It was quiet.
Yibs will give kind of like a shrug and then like blow some air out and go like, okay, well, cool.
So everyone's plan is to go into the tunnels and find Turvy. Yes.
I suppose if to start off, Topsy will come over and she'll accept a sword and kind of hold it awkwardly. Yeah, I suppose if we're gonna start looking, do we have anything to go off of? Did anyone see any of his stuff, or
is she just up with us, or is everyone around us?
I think you guys were talking and people are starting to kind of come over.
I want...
Yibs is gonna look over at what is a very concerned sounding Alor.
Yeah, Alora's gonna kind of tug on Topsy. I keep forgetting mixing them up.
Yeah, that's okay. They literally had the same entry in the book.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really supposed to be separate.
We're not supposed to separate them, but what have you done?
I know. What
They
have I
can't live
done?
without each other. Topsy, is there anything about Turvy that is like, does he know how to like capably keep, like, do you think he'd have a chance of surviving out there on his own right now?
I don't know. He's, not one for much labor or nothing. We only been on our own, few, like a year or so now. I've been doing most of it.
Okay. How about we have everyone scout out the tunnels nearest to us, make sure none of Mosk's guys are still lurking around while which tunnels did some of you guys wake up in? What tunnels did you come out of? Because there's two, right?
Yeah, there's two coming from here. You see Ron, he points to the one that Alor, you and Stool came from. Mm-hmm. Or no, Jim Jar will point to the one that Yibs and Boopido came from. Prince will point his nose that way as well.
Okay, and he was with you, Topsy?
Yeah, he was. Last I remember, we had come up on some rocks or something. We were splashed up and he flew overboard.
Okay, so which side did you come from again?
You'll see Kabi will step and say, I was awake for most of it. I believe we came from the same tunnel as Ront here. I think we came from that way. And he'll point to the one that Alor you came out of.
I think it's probably a good try to maybe secure the area a little bit in case Moss guys go back before we start out our scouting party. Because, Illusior Yibs did... A bunch of them went into the tunnel that way, right?
Yeah, oh my God, he's still here. That's right.
Alor's like, hey, Illusory Yibs, what do you think about?
I was talking to real Yibs and I was just saying Illusory Yibs did it, but yeah, he's still here. I turn around to talk to Yibs and there's two staring at me.
Yeah, they both have that, like, very open-eyed cat look to them. Yibs will look up at you and go, I don't really think that the other bounty hunters are quite the problem. Like, they might pose a bit of a worry because Topsy's, wanted, but they don't have a boss anymore and they don't have anyone to pay them anymore, and they kind of know that. I think the biggest problem back there, especially for a lone survivor, is one of those big, and then he's gonna do like a big fangs kind of look and then like push his arms out, like drape around like Wolfman style, whatever those things were.
Yeah, Boopito nods in agreement. Crawling with deformed people.
I'll
point a finger at Boopito.
Did anyone else see those?
You see everyone kind of looks at each other, and then we'll shake their head up to you guys.
Yeah, they were like...
Sure?
They were like you took a normal person and you stretched him out, like, freakily, and they were bitey and claw-y and scary, very scary. Can you give an insight check to see if Alor is lying? Because Alor is lying.
You can...
I was gonna say, you guys can do it against her deception.
Oh god, what's my deception? Did I make this Alor a liar?
It'd be whack if she wasn't.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
That's a dirty 20.
Oh, that's a 16. She gets past me.
She maintains eye contact with you and it completely tricks you.
Yeah, really? I'm like, okay.
Can't be lying. She looked right at me.
Liars look away, and he'll like point his finger to his head.
Illusory Yibs writes that down.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess let's just, everybody at least buddy up because those things are tough.
I was gonna say we should split into a few search parties, but should we have some stay back here? Yeah,
that's a good idea too. Those who aren't very capable at all in fighting.
Yeah, Sarah sits down. Kabi will also take like a hesitant seat.
Yeah, that's all right, bud.
Yeah, you're good.
Shushar will approach like, is there, I don't suppose there'll be any curses or ghosts or anything. I suppose if you come across anything like that, here, slap one of these on it, and he'll hand you each like a piece of paper with a sigil on it, and then he'll go sit down.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yibs takes a new funky magic item with reverence, puts it in his pack, and gives a deep nod. Thank you.
Alright, I gotta put sigil in my bag.
Ront, you should probably stay back here with them. Just in case something comes up, you're probably, and Yibs is gonna count on his fingers, probably the third strongest person we have.
You see it.
Maybe second.
He cranes his neck and looks down at you and nods his head. This is a good idea.
So we don't want to...
He'll stand by the others.
Yeah, give him a thumbs up.
All right, so who's coming?
Yibs will raise a hand.
Illusory Yibs raises his hand. Topsy raises her hand. I suppose, who do you guys want to take with you? I'd say you each get to pick a guy.
Oh, who do we have left?
I'd say the people that haven't sat down are Jimjar, Boopito,
Nope.
Prince.
Oh, yeah.
That might be it.
That's okay.
I guess Jimjar and Prince.
I guess
right?
Stool, but Stool's more of an accessory.
Counts. He's in my bag.
Yeah. I'll take Topsy. The two of us can look around. Alor, you want to take
I thought
Boopito
Topsy was
and
coming
Prince?
with us anyways.
Well, sure, but I figure we should split into maybe two parties, or do you think we should all just do one big thing?
Let's just do one thing and try to keep a more concentrated, area of people here.
Yeah, if there really are monsters that, scare you, then yeah, maybe it'd be worth staying together.
Yibs will give a nod. All right. Turvy is, well, okay, no, let's have Boopido, you stay in the back. I'll head up the front. Alor, you do mid lane. And I don't know where you're best, and I'll point over at Jim Jar.
At range, mostly.
All right, you can hold up the back with Boopido.
All right.
Before we get going, does anybody need healing? Was anybody roughed up at all?
No, it ended pretty quickly, all things considered.
Yeah, Prince will, look at your arm and be like, I think it was mostly just you who got hurt.
Yibs will give a nod and go, I'm all right. Just making sure about everybody else.
Yeah, the other guys look at each other and like, yeah, I don't think anyone else got hurt.
Yeah.
I'll give a thumbs up. All right, then. Let's, Alor, you still got the, and I'll show my shiny piece of silence.
Yeah. And I guess is it just in my pocket? Was it on anything? Was it like on a string?
I think they were just
I think it's
on
just,
each other, right?
Yeah, it's just glass right now.
Okay. Yeah. I'll hold it up and...
Unfortunately, you guys only have 50 feet of hempen rope. You guys don't have string.
Damn.
Okay, we'll have to be pretty sparing with that then. All right, team, let's get a move on.
All right, yeah. You guys, head back out into the tunnels.
Yibs will cast light on his hook and just keep it moving.
Yeah, everyone's keeping their eyes open. What's up?
Okay. So once we get a little further away from the group, and now that we have a bit of a smaller group that might not panic as much. Topsy, right?
Yes, Miss Alor.
So Turvy, has he been like sick for long? And she's gonna stop and kind of look at her.
Yeah, you see, she will not look at you.
All right. I'm gonna fill everyone in on what happened, what's going on. I brought us away from everyone, so maybe everyone didn't freak out, but this is your opportunity to explain.
You're right. That's only fair. You see,
Yibs is gonna give big, like, narrow eye, like flat pancake Yibs eyes.
Squinty Yibs.
Topsy will make her way to the front of the pack here and kind of stop the line. I suppose I hadn't been entirely honest as to my past and my brothers. We were not out, picking mushrooms, and were suddenly abducted. For about a year and a half now, the two of us had been exiled from Blingdenstone because my brother Turvy is quite sick. Not for some reason, randomly, he becomes a monster version of himself, and he attacks anything in sight. And I don't know, but as soon as that started, we were kicked out, and that's how we ended up getting captured. So I suppose he's having one of his random episodes. I suppose, Miss Alor, I assume that's how you know.
Me and Stool found him in the tunnels. We slipped right past him.
I'm so sorry,
Wait,
everyone.
so
I'm
you
sorry
know
I
where he
put
is?
all of you in danger.
Yeah, I'll lead you back the way that I remember him being, but there's no promise he's gonna be there. And you know that if he's still changed, I don't know what... Do you know... Alor doesn't know much about this. She avoids it out at all costs. Is this common down here?
Oh, would Yibs maybe know something? We're dealing with a werewolf, right?
Well, right now you don't know if we're talking about what you saw.
I think that's fair.
I guess that is fair. But let me throw my pitch in. As Yibs was with the company of a group of moon elves, Surely werewolves wouldn't be too far out of possibility for something that gets brought up around the fireside. Creatures who transform under the full moon. Elves, you know?
It's not fair playing with some guy in law school, man. He's got an answer for everything.
Dude, just you wait till I bring up Romulus and Remus.
But yeah, no, that I think you definitely would. Go ahead and roll history with advantage.
Ha ha ha. That doesn't mean anything, though. Yibs is ass at history. Ooh, 18 isn't bad. And then with advantage, that's a 5. Awesome.
An 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine hearing about this scared you a little bit. So it's stuck with you maybe more than some of their other teachings.
Damn, you nailed him.
You remember that... yes, werewolves or lycanthropes are monsters that every full moon transform into a cross between themselves and a wolf and seemingly go into some sort of unquenchable rage until the full moon is gone. You also remember that they do not need to be in direct sight of the moon for it to affect them. Being under the moon does buff them. And you remember that the werewolf was established when an elf, Arist Calorum, had become rivals with the moon goddess and attempted to team up with the god of the sun to fell her, but was instead cursed that every full moon they would be transformed into a monster.
Yibs is going to roll down. All right, this Yibs is going to roll down one of his sleeves and look at his tattoo of the full lunar calendar on one of his arms.
Oh my god.
Does he see that a full moon passed by recently?
You aren't sure, but I guess with an 18 you realize that her reasoning that he randomly does this may have something to do with the fact that there isn't a sky. Like they wouldn't have access to that explanation.
Oh shit. That's a shockingly good point. I didn't even think about that. And Yibs is gonna start rubbing his arm. Shit, my temporary tattoo.
Is this waxing your... Fuck.
Need to get it re-upped. Yibs will look over. Hey, it wouldn't happen to be like kind of furry, kind of clawy, kind of lanky, would it?
Yes, exactly like that. Patches of fur. Grows a snout and lanky. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yibs is gonna start like rolling up sleeves, pulling his like bandana a little bit like up, tying it tighter, and go, okay, yeah, I've heard of this before. It's a thing of great wonder and of great shame for the lunar elves. It's a process in which every full moon people are transformed into beasts of remorse that roam the woods looking for the next hunt or blood, or different things say different things, but you might be dealing with a lichen. That's okay. Do I not know the name?
No, you do. I was gonna say, I suppose I should also mention, that it is contagious through bites.
Yeah, hence Yibs rolling his sleeves. Everybody be on guard. If Topsy were to bite any one of us, it is very possible that while in this form, we contract the same disease, which I assume is what happened to the people I saw that weren't Topsy, or that weren't Turvy, but were turned.
So I don't know that Yibs has seen a werewolf. They're not like super common.
No.
The moon elves would certainly know about them.
Yeah, Yibs did see the what's it called, his old buddy get turned.
Yes, you did see the fucked up evil versions of a couple people.
So he's just kind of piecing together that the long snout, whatever. So everybody be on guard. If we can try and... Okay. We're going to have to do something similar to Mosk, I think. And I'm going to pull out my rope of entanglement. Just calm him down. We don't want him dead. It won't do anybody any good for that. Let's just get him restrained and see if we can take him with us. Because you said it was at random times, right?
Right, yeah.
But never like a whole week or never like 2 times in a month or...
No.
How often? Gibbs is consulting his lunar calendar tattoo. I do imagine he'd have one of those like Etsy tattoos of like the moon's waxing and waning, because I assume that was like a peer pressure like moon elves thing, being like, no dude, it rules.
Yeah, no, I suppose I hadn't timed it, but if I had to guess, yeah, maybe once a month or so.
Okay, so he won't be too much of a problem if we can just get it past this time period.
Right. Yeah, no, it's only ever for a few hours or so.
Okay.
All right, so maybe he'll just be not even in his state anymore when we find him.
I hope
Keep
so.
your guard up, though, because you don't want to end up like that without knowing how to deal with it.
Yeah, is there a way to deal with it, Yips?
Yibbs is gonna kind of give a shrug. He's like, I have something that might help. I don't know if it'll cure it, but I have an idea. And Yibbs will kind of do like he'll rub his hands together and then do like a clear and then say, I'm a cleric, remember?
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Should be a decent try at least.
All right, let's go try and find him. All right, I'm gonna try to remember my way I took down these tunnels. Maybe Stool can help me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stool can definitely help out. You guys both make your way along the path. If you ever get twisted up, the two of you can usually talk it out and figure it out. So give me like a survival check with advantage.
I'm bad at survival. Let's see. Ooh,
If only
that's
there was a
15 plus
check.
2, that's 17. Oh, and an 11.
Yeah, 17.
So 17.
Yeah, you have no true difficulty finding it. I suppose, though, that does make it all the more confusing. You get back to the boat where you'd last seen him, where you were getting I believe that's where you got your bow.
Mm-hmm.
And you see 4 dead Quotoa in these like dark robes.
Have we seen these kind of Kuatoa before?
You have not.
All right, Yibbs is gonna move up.
Is Prince with us?
He is.
Oh, good idea.
Hey, Prince, this is around where I saw Turvy last. Can you smell him?
Yeah, I can do my best. Do we have anything of his? I suppose you're probably similar. He looks over to Turvy, or over to Topsy, and he'll go and sniff her and start sniffing around. But yeah, while he looks, I don't know if you guys want to check out the scene or anything.
Yeah.
Yibbs will kind of just walk up over the Kuatoa and not look through them, but just like stand over them, looking around the room, making sure nobody comes in from like above.
Yeah, go ahead and give me investigation.
Alrighty, let's see. Oof, 11. Not great.
11, yeah, you don't see anyone.
Okay. I just keep my eyes towards the ceiling and go, did I have anything on him?
Yeah. Alor will just approach Yibbs and... What you doing?
I don't know. If we walk into a room with a bunch of dead guys, I am somewhat on edge that we may end up the next dead guys.
That's fair. And she will help him look.
All right, yeah, go ahead and also make an investigation. Or would you rather provide the help action?
Either or. What's your investigation?
I have a +2.
Oh, damn, it's the same. I'll roll it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ooh, a crit.
Very
Nice.
All right, yeah, I will lay out this crime scene for you. Looking around, you see, you don't see anyone lying in ambush. First of all, to answer your guys' question, but looking around, yeah, you see these Quotoa dead. You see that they have been slashed with claws. You see some of them have been bitten. You see that there are a couple nets laying around that seem to have been slashed up as well. You see that, yeah, they're wearing these dark robes with large hoods to conceal themselves. You see that it looks like there was evidence that something was dragged away. You see under one of these Quotoa's robes that have been slashed open, you see like a burn scar in the shape of a Y.
Looks like there was a struggle.
Do they have any weapons? Any gold?
They have these nets, and take a look at the nets.
Yeah, the nets look like essentially like fishing equipment that they brought. And then you see that they have, looks like daggers and crossbows.
Okay, so not entirely unprepared. These aren't just fishing folk.
Prince,
Yeah.
can you sniff these drag marks?
Oh, good call. You see he will bound his way over to the drag marks and sniff them. It smells like Shushar and Topsy.
Okay, that's a good little murder hound.
200 something years old.
Yibs will give a thumbs up.
I was royalty once.
And you will be again, good buddy.
Thank you. He's his
All
tail
right.
wags a little.
Are we heading in the way of these drag marks? Is that where the scent leads?
Yeah, you see he follows it for a little while. And that leads you guys to a, kind of a shore. It's essentially just where, like a cliff that the water had risen to meet. Goes cold here.
Got on a boat. Does this go downriver?
Yeah,
What's downriver from here?
the lock. And then Slubladop, I think. That's what Shushar was saying.
How would they get past us?
Maybe they didn't?
You see Jimjar interjects, well, I suppose we did take tunnels and they took the river. We could have passed each other and not even known it.
Do we think that they took Turvy?
All evidence that I've found would suggest it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yibs is gonna backpedal a little bit, and take a look at this Y-shaped burn mark. Is it raised up so as to be a brand, like a hot piece of iron? Or is it sunken in so as to be some form of fire spell or damage that just burned away?
Very insightful. It is raised.
Okay, so it's a piece of metal. Does it look, is it like very red around the area and inflamed so as to be recent? Or is it old, healed over?
I'd say somewhere in between, like more recent than it is old, but it wasn't like the other day.
Okay. Yibs will look down. That's probably, that's not a good sign. Does only this one person have it, or is it multiple?
Inspecting the other bodies, they all have it.
That's not good. Generally, when a bunch of bodies have the same tattoo, it either means a cool club, but in the case of a brand, usually means a pretty bad club. Okay, well, and I assume nothing is tripping for Yibs for the Y itself. Like, nothing's ringing any bells as to what that could mean, because it's an entirely different ecosystem.
Yes. Part of you thinks that it might stand for Yibs, but I think it's just the party that thinks every Y stands for Yibs until you read, like, the rest of the word.
Yibs Yibs is certainly thinking to himself if he should get this brand.
You think for a second, you're like, a Y made with fire. Illusory Yibs was enjoying himself quite a bit casting Sacred Flame. Could he have something to do with this?
Yibs is gonna roll insight on Illusory Yibs. And there's my nat 20.
You turn around, Illusory Yibs is standing inside of one of them by accident, looking perplexed. And he'll look up at you and be like, bad club.
Does he seem to harbor any ill intent?
He does not.
Interesting. Yibs will give a nod and then look over at Alor. Should we just head to town?
Where would they bring him when they found him?
Are you asking me?
Where do we think they'd bring? Because the lock's gone, and they must have found that out by now.
Right.
Yeah, but then
Do you think
past the lock, you think they got all the way into Sloobledop?
they may have been able to get past the lock while we were distracted, but
I don't know. Yibs doesn't have many detective spells. It's just his special interest.
yeah, let me activate my detective spells.
I mean, he has some, but he just doesn't have them prepared. Like, find person, locate object.
I've got a first level cure wounds for you.
Mm-hmm.
A finger gun, eye wink.
Yeah, you see, Topsy is just knelt down over the drag marks. If we think he'd been dragged to Sloobledop, then I'm gonna be headed there. He's probably very scared at this point. I'm not sure how much longer he would stay in his monstrous form.
Do you think they'd take him right back to sleep? Yeah.
I think that's a better assumption than the alternative, which is that he's at the bottom of the lake somewhere.
Right. I suppose I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they meant to kill him, or I don't know why they'd take the measures to push him in the water. Not to speak on any recent events, but if they were truly fighting for their lives, as it seems they were, I don't know that they would take that kind of unnecessary precaution.
And the daggers weren't bloody. They weren't trying to kill this guy, but the nets were torn. They were trying to capture him. They want him for something.
For money. We're all worth money right now.
Yibs will give a nod. And the only place to barter off that kind of bounty is Sloobledop. At least the only place nearby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, let's get back to the others then.
Alright, you guys quickly make your way back down to the lock. And you see everyone else still waiting there. Looks like Ron was playing dice with Cobby.
Everyone's just watching him.
Yeah.
Hey, team.
We didn't find him.
As you guys approach, they all look up expectantly, and then you see their eyes kind of die a little bit when they see it's no one else has joined the party.
Good and bad news. Good news. We found evidence that he's alive, or at least heavily suggestive evidence that he's alive. Bad news. He's been taken. Probably to Sloobledop is our best guess.
Yeah, we assumed they're probably gonna try to pawn him off, especially now that their boss is dead.
Look around. Does anybody know a symbol that looks like this? And then scratch a Y into the ground with my sword.
But yeah, they look at it, and yeah, you get a bunch of shaking heads.
Well, the sooner we find out about this, the sooner we find out who took him, because it's these people. I'm gonna tap the Y with my sword.
Those people.
Aren't those the ones who are dead?
Yeah, but I assume the rest of them also have the same club marker.
So were there were bodies?
Oh, yeah. Bunch of dead Kuatoa with this mark. I'll tap the Y again. Branded onto them with a bunch of nets for catching. That the evidence showed dragged a large body, probably Turvy, towards a boat that headed off in the direction of Slubladap.
Yeah, you see Shushar will stand up, kind of scratching his chin. I've never heard of anything like that in Slubladap. They're pretty rigorous about, their organization. Archpriest likes to keep a tight ship, but I don't know, maybe something's changed recently, but I don't know. I mean, unless, they were looking to, catch you guys for bounty. That makes sense. But they all had a brand on them. It's not like anything I've heard.
Yibs will shrug.
Did we get branded? No, we got tattooed.
Yeah, got tattooed with invisible ink, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can't see it.
Yeah. The whole time we haven't mentioned, Alor's big arm piece and Yibs's neck/chin tattoo.
That's right. Yeah. That's fucked up.
If we think he's in Slubladap, I can, I was already planning on getting you in talks with the Archpriest. Maybe he'd know something about it.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a bad idea. And if we can find an Archpriest, they might be able to help with Turvey's condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see kind of the stay behind group cocks their heads a little bit.
Alor turns her heads towards Yibs.
Yeah,
looks down at him.
What's his condition?
He's gonna blink. Ugh.
Yeah, Yibs.
Topsy may be sick with decently life-threatening medical condition, which is why it's of utmost importance that we find him quickly.
Yeah, all right. I guess let's get a move on then.
Will our boat still work? You said it was crushed into the wall?
You guys built a very sturdy boat somehow. You guys are real naval engineers. So it punched through the gate. You guys went below deck for a little bit. It looked fine. It looked like it crashed through the gate. So opening it it'll cause another mini flood. I don't think it's going to be anything like the last thing you guys experienced, but the boat should be fine to sail.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Can we not just... Oh, we broke the lock gate. It's can we not just use the lock as intended? No.
Let's try it.
I suppose you haven't tried. All right. Yeah.
I mean, we
going
could
up to
try.
the lock controls. There's a crank for opening and closing the gate your guys' boat is in.
Did I go up? Yibs and I just spawn in the control room.
I hook my way up.
Alright, everyone's waiting down. I gotta look at this earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try to do it. So probably we want to go down? Or are we going up?
You're gonna want to go down.
Alright.
As you crank to open the gate, the water starts spilling out as the gates pull apart. And you see just on each side of the gate there's a boat-shaped hole punched through it. Eventually the boat slips into the water and is carried off a little bit by the water in the lock. But you see everyone on board kind of uses its pushing sticks to bring it to a stop. You get a cacophony of thumbs up.
All right. That's Yibs' favorite sound.
Anything else we need from this place before we get out of here?
Yibs will give a shrug. I don't think so.
All right.
I mean, we took most of the stuff off the bounty hunters that we could. And we raided the armory for more swords, 4 swords.
Yeah, you guys already got Mosk's dirty coat.
That Yibs is proudly boasting.
Is he wearing it?
No, he's just got it I don't know, tied around his shoulder, I guess. Maybe around.
Tied around his waist.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It stinks, man.
You
dragging on the floor behind him.
Cool, stinky waist cape.
It stinks like death, you said. Does it stink like death in are we talking zombie death or are we talking skeleton death?
Zombie death, I suppose. This guy eats people.
Okay, that means I gotta wash it. All right. That'll be
Dunk
for
it in
the
the
boat
dark
trip.
lake.
If it was skeleton death, I'd be like, this rules.
It smell like old bones, man. This is awesome.
It would have been. Hopefully I can wash the zombie off it. Get skeleton.
Yeah, you guys go catch up with the boat. They help you guys climb on. Yeah, you guys are setting sail for Sloobladop. Yeah, you get a little social event. Each get a little token to spend on someone you like, so you can get their little token of favor at the end of the game.
Just like my favorite game, Danganronpa.
That's right, my favorite game, Danganronpa.
No, get me out. Get me out.
You're locked in here with us.
No. Alor, do you want to roll initiative to see who has to go first?
Of course I do.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh, it's a 13.
Oh, damn it.
Dang.
That's an 18.
Damn. Too quick for his own good. Yibs is up.
This is now I have a good initiative. Okay. I am gonna go over to Topsy.
All right, you see, she's kind of just hands on the, like, elbows on the rails, head in her hands, kind of just looking over at the water.
Hey.
Oh, Mr. Yibs, how are you?
Good. You don't have to call me Mr. though. You can just call me Yibs. Or if you have to add a pejorative, you could say Mighty Yibs if you wanted, as is my name. So
go ahead and give me a charisma check. Just to see if you can kind of punch through her mood. Okay. I'm glad that's what it's getting taken. Oh, that's a 6. Yeah, she gives you the smile, but it doesn't really reach her eyes. Yeah, I know the smile. Yibs, sure.
I'm gonna look around. Is anybody nearby?
No, you see people are going about their business. Looks like people are manning the pushing sticks. Other people are below deck making sure that there aren't any holes. You see people are trying to gather anything that resembles a nail to hold some of the floor together.
So, I don't mean to, really languish in bad stuff, but can I ask about Turvy?
Yes, because it's not hard to talk about him. He's not gone. No. My questioning line is kind of, when did this start? Do you remember? It was about a year and a half ago. We were in Blingdenstone cleaning up one of the, because we had been attacked by drow some years ago before that, when Turvy and I were even born. But there's still pieces of the city that aren't right. So we were in an effort to clean up. We were scouting out inside of there, and we find a drow by himself. Looked pretty skinny, pretty, like he had been trapped for those years since. But he was alive. We thought that was strange. So we weren't sure what to do.
What'd you do with him?
We initially turned to, go report it, in case he was some kind of spy or something. We really weren't sure. Just report that we had found something. I suppose that was our jobs. But as we were going, he grabs onto my arm and, he starts, begging me, please don't, go and tell. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He'd just been trapped in the rubble for so long. But, that's the thing. It was confusing. There was no way he could have been alive and trapped for that long. It had been, probably over a decade. It's certainly over a decade. It'd been a few decades.
And he wasn't like a cleric, like he couldn't conjure food or anything, right?
It didn't seem like it, no. So, we, I'm promising I won't. And then he starts twitching and his grip gets tighter, and I managed to pull myself away. I stab his hand with with a dagger I had for self-defense, and monsters had begun congregating in the rubble and stuff. So perhaps that's how
Sure.
he was surviving. He could have been eating those, but even still, I suppose, trapped behind enemy lines, you don't want to make yourself known. But yeah, he starts transforming. I see his back hunches a bit. He ends up on all fours, and his face protrudes, and he grows patches of fur on him. His leg bones snap and contort. His feet grow long, and his nails into claws. And as we run, he bites Turvy on the leg. And, we go to, the doctor and everything, and he says that he got bit, that they sent people in to go take care of this, this creature. But yeah, then some month or so later, Turvy becomes quite similar, and he, we're rushing him to the doctor, and he ends up hurting him quite bad. He scratches him across the face, and, we are banished, because they didn't have the heart to kill us, I suppose. He is still fairly young, but and hasn't spoken much since.
How did you get him under control?
We didn't. Whenever he'd start to do that, he'd go one way and I'd go the other, and we'd say, the next day we'll meet at the same place.
Okay. But it would only last a day.
It only lasts a few hours, maybe 8 or so.
Okay. Something to do with the moon.
The what?
The moon. So, from where I am, right? Imagine, Nibs will kind of put his hand to his head. So imagine you're below deck, right? You're in the ship, and everything you look around is just the walls of the ship, the floor of the ship, the ceiling, it's all wood, right?
Okay.
Now, imagine that's all you know. You just know the wood of the ship, the safety of the walls. You've never been above deck. Where I'm from, I'm from above deck. And everything out there is strange and wonderful. And there's a thing out there, a giant piece of stone, I think, or I don't know. Somebody said it was I don't know what it was, but it's the moon. Imagine a slightly smaller ship just a while away on the same lake. And it circles around us, and it brings good fortune and good omen, but also danger and mystery. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing, but it's so foreign and so strange that even trying to figure it all out completely leads many to madness. That's the moon. And some of my, let's say my people, they say the moon brings upon transformations in some deemed unlucky. I think that's what's happening to your brother. I don't know if I can fix it, but I can certainly try.
I appreciate the gesture, Mr. Yibbs. Excuse me, Yibbs. So yeah,
and I'm gonna pull out,
shake one of your hands and two of hers.
I'll give a nod and go. I'm gonna pull up my sleeve and point at my my faded lunar cycle tattoo. And I'll just point to like a big circle that's on there and go, that's the moon. It's what it looks like. It's not a bad thing.
Can't say I feel too bad about living below deck if there's things like that out there.
Gibbs will look around and go, yeah, it's not terrible down here, but when I get up there, I'd love to have you and your brother come visit and see how cool it is.
We'll do our best.
And Yibbs will give a little like a kind of curtsy, I guess, and then
curtsy with his mosque jacket.
Yeah, with my mosque jacket.
It throws up in her mouth a little bit,
and then he'll start walking off towards another part of the deck. Yeah, he'll give a little bow and then head off to another part of the ship.
All right. Alor, that is you.
I rolled a dirty 20. What do I get?
Damn, you get to pick who you're gonna go talk to.
Hell yeah.
I'll even let you pick Turvy if you want.
It's okay, I'll pick Jim Jar.
Damn, she gets the whole world and chooses Jim Jar.
You see Jim Jar is up at the ballista, kind of just keeping an eye out. Miss Alor, how are you doing?
Doing all right. You, how are you doing?
Well, I'm worried about the boy, but other than that, I suppose I'm doing good. I'm admittedly a bit worried about what we're walking into.
Yeah?
Yeah. If I had, I've been around a bit, peeking into things that I'm really not supposed to be. But if I had to put my money on anything, those were cult folks.
Yeah. Are there many cults poking around in these tunnels, or?
Oh, a cult will poke up anytime, really. There's any sort of vacuum of power, something interesting happens. Like, oh, that could be worth worshipping. My life sucks right now. Maybe that could turn it around. Well, that or, someone's looking to get rich or get powerful. Really any excuse other than to help people.
Cut to Yibs holding Mara.
But, yeah, so I'm antsy. But, after what we pulled off with this, bounty hunter club or whatever, I suppose I'm a little more confident.
Yeah. I suppose it went off without a hitch.
The guy gave himself a title and, we finished him off without even a word.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't even say anything to the guy. Does that make it better or worse?
I suppose that depends. How empathetic do you think you are?
I feel like the longer and more fucked up it gets, the less of a line I can draw between that. Like, I can't let it all get to me, right?
Not if you want to keep doing this, you can't.
Doesn't get easier?
Easier? Yes. But I think it gets easier on your body. Physically you're fine. But I think deep down, somewhere in your soul, it still tallies. But
well, let's hope the blood on his hands is more than mine.
Oh, there certainly are. We're at least even for Cobby's crew.
Yeah. We gave him one.
Right. But what brings you up top?
I suppose mostly the boy, and yeah, I guess the whole thing with, I don't know. That was probably a little more intense than I thought it was gonna be, but you know what? It was more intense, but not intense at the same time.
Yes, no, I know precisely what you mean. It's, just as bad as it, any other version of it could have been, but there's no, it's not over. You don't get any catharsis.
And these cult folk, when we run into them, are we gonna go through them too? Cults aren't... I don't feel too bad about cult.
No, if they're kidnapping people, then it's hard to feel bad, but...
And are you a God-fearing man?
I don't specifically aim my prayers towards anyone, but I'm thankful for the deep gnome gods and whatnot. Wouldn't be here without them, but yeah, I suppose I don't take time out of my day to show it to them, I suppose. What about you? Got anything decent topside for you to pray to?
Nothing that particularly held my attention. But this line of work, I gotta be thankful for somebody keeping me alive.
Be sure to thank yourself while you're at it.
Not for lack of trying.
Well, I certainly am. That Mosk fellow would have eaten me 2 times over if it hadn't been for you.
I'm glad I was in the right place at the right time.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, I just hope that we could find Turvey?
We will.
I saw him back in the tunnels with stool poking out of my bag.
Pat him.
And I could have done something. I mean, he's a kid. I could have tied him up and stuck him somewhere safe until we got the lock.
Yeah, you could have, but at the same time, you could have not come forward with, Miss Topsy and told her you know where he is. So I think you've come out about even. That's all we can really hope to do.
Do you think coming out even is enough?
I think it is for me anyways. I've done a lot of bad things for good reasons, but, just gotta keep telling myself, remind myself who I'm doing it for.
Who are you doing it for?
Well, I suppose now you lot, but, I did used to be, Blingden Stone government. I used to be a spy. I'd make my way into Menzo Baranzan, find out what they're up to. But, I got through. I got tossed in one of their prisons for some time and survived mostly by, took to gambling, won myself enough stuff to slip my way out. But I suppose the habit stuck with me a little too long, got myself kicked out of the city after I accidentally gambled myself into a corner, and I bet one of our supply caches and lost that as well. And so that wasn't good. I was out on my own, and then I once again was caught empty pockets betting against one Sure Vendry, and I bet myself, knowing, that's what drows would take up. But some lady luck out there is not interested in me, as it would seem. But I suppose she can't be totally blind to me. You lot helped me get out and haven't had that big a problem since.
Yeah, I mean, things considered are going better than I thought they would be. How long ago were we in a cell?
God, I don't know, probably like a month ago. I have to do the math on that still.
Insert amount of time.
Why, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, no, probably about 10 episodes or so.
Damn, they always say never bet your last coin.
Yeah, they do say that, but the coin, she begs harder.
What do you play?
Yeah, what do you got?
Do you have a preference?
I do not.
I saw you with those dice. I saw Ron with the dice. Were those your dice?
No, I think he brought his own dice. But I do have... Well, I suppose I have these dice. He shows, they're, not perfect cubes. They're, etched out of stones. Looks like maybe a piece of, the lunch tray that broke off.
Lord goes to dig in her bag, remembers stools in there. she opens the side pocket where she keeps all of her actual stuff now, and she takes out a fairly shockingly new looking pack of cards. I mean, I got these pretty soon before the big kidnapping. Last person in the party who had a pack. Obviously not around anymore.
Well, I suppose we both have histories then.
Meh, doesn't everyone?
Suppose they do. But, one of us has our cards laid out, as it were.
Alor taps the pack against her hand. Would you want to play, or?
Sure. I'm not, I don't have much money, but, I'll tell you, if I win, you tell me something. And if you win, I'll tell you something else.
Yeah? Okay. Do you have any ideas for better D&D, how we do this, or?
I think what we do, at least for right now, because I guess my answer is no.
Okay.
you guys each, roll a luck check. If you want to cheat, roll a deception check, and they will roll an insight against that. And then whoever's number is higher wins.
So I have to roll the luck and then I can roll to cheat? Or...
Yeah, that makes sense. If you see that you got a bad hand.
Yeah. Okay. So luck is just a d20.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. We set up playing cards on the bullet. Well, not probably on the ballista. Just sitting on top of the ballista playing cards.
Whoever loses.
Whoever loses gets to shoot the other off the ballista. We have to try to ride it like a surfboard.
Yeah, if only someone was good at that
Traditionally
here.
goes well.
Oh yeah, if only somebody had some sick surf moves. Alright, I'm gonna roll my luck check.
Alright.
Ooh, a roll. It was only a 9. Alor is definitely gonna be like, ooh, that's a bad card. I can't start off the bat embarrassing myself. What?
Sorry, I was meant to let you finish.
I thought you were interrupting.
I was going to
Alor
say...
says out loud.
I was going to say, should it be deception or sleight of hand, do we
That's
think?
what I was gonna ask.
Oh, okay.
Because last campaign we did do sleight of hand.
Yes.
It makes more sense,
Well,
I think.
I guess it could depend on the game. If it's like poker,
I was
then
gonna
you probably
say-
want deception.
Yeah, and I guess it could also depend. Am I trying to pull a card from my pocket or not?
True. I guess, yeah. I'd say take your pick. Either one.
I'm gonna try to sneakily slide a card in here. This might, you know what? This might be dumb, but Alor loves dumb choices. That's why she hangs out with Yibs. It's
Let's
an
go.
18.
All right. Both of you roll insight. Alor and Jim Jar. That's wisdom, right?
Ooh, I almost crit and it rolled onto a 2. It's a 5 plus 3. It's a 5.
All right. He rolled a 6 on insight, so you can both cheat. Fine.
Fine.
He got a 16
For what?
for his card.
What was mine? I forgot already.
Looks like an 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shows you. He lays his cards down. He's got a 16.
Yeah, looks like Lady Luck is not on your side.
She curses me yet again. Well, alright, I suppose you don't... is there anything specific you'd like to know?
I guess why did he tell me why he started doing this? I don't remember.
Why he started...
Doing like what he did.
Oh.
Like,
He didn't.
I guess what got you into this whole adventuring or spy business? I don't know.
See, the Deep Gnome, specifically a Blingden Stone, we are not a... I mean, look at me, look at Topsy and Turvy. We're not big, we're not intimidating folks, so, we're pretty easy to be pushed around, especially by people who are looking to push, like the Drow of Menzo Branzan. They, seem to want where we are pretty bad. Might just be a general sense of conquest, might be looking at a healthy pool of new free labor. But, they had at one point raided when, I was, probably, I don't know, maybe 50 or so. And we were just able to keep them off. I mean, that seems to be usually how it goes. But, before that, I had been a bit of a, ruffian, be stealing and getting what's mine, as it were. Just making sure I was okay and no one else. And after, seeing the Drow come in and try to do the same thing to everyone else, to my livelihood, I suppose I flipped. I decided that wouldn't be my life anymore. So I decided to use those habits of mine for good. But old habits die hard.
Yeah, I guess they do.
It's been nice playing with you. Be sure to stop by again, but I suppose you have taken my eyes off the waters. He chuckles and he'll kind of use your shoulder to stand up.
Yeah. I suppose play me again if you want to know anything.
Well, then I'll certainly will. Yeah. As you guys sail along, you kind of come around a corner and see a huge cave wall that has been seemingly it almost looks like it had been carved out and a city placed inside of it. They exist in this little cavern. You see Slubladop. You see that it is covered in these towers, and there you see bridges connecting everything. It seems that the city is as vertical as it is horizontal, and you see it's all mostly made of wood and clay and everything. It seems a little maybe rickety, but it seems to be holding together all right. You see people coming in and out of the harbor. See some Dwagar selling their goods. You see Quotoa shipping out to go fishing. You're looking at a bustling cityscape.
Ooh.
And I think that is probably where we're gonna end our session. The rare one, that might honestly be short. We only recorded for 2 hours.
Oh no.
Only 2 hours.
No, that should probably be it'll be a shorter one. That's fine. The interim between arcs, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's where we'll end our session. That's where we'll end our episode.
We got a lore dump.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got a lore dump about everyone except Alor.
That secretive bitch.
Ever elusive.
Did Yibs drop Yibs lore? Kinda, yeah. He knows about werewolves.
Yeah.
Illusory Yibs gained consciousness, actually.
Illusory Yibs might have gained consciousness.
He's not on the boat.
He's gone.
That one's still back there, actually.
So yeah, I guess a little bit of lore about Yibs. We learned he has a fucking tattoo of the moon cycles.
I'm thinking it's
it wasn't gonna be canon until you showed it to Topsy.
Listen,
I'm thinking it's
honestly,
this. Some dumbass Tumblr kind of, a Pinterest board tattoo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, good stuff, everyone. Love having you guys talk to my people.
Love when your OCs talk to my OCs. We should do it again sometime.
This is when I get my talking for the week out.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, favorite, rate, reblog. Just send a photo of it to your parents.
Tell us who your favorite character is in the comments. Tell us who your least favorite character is too, though.
Yeah. Don't say
I'm expecting a lot of
any
mosques.
of mine. I'll be devastated.
Then you have 2 options.
If you're telling me Melia Feldrun is not your favorite character, I'm gonna be pissed.
Wait, what was who was the first werewolf? That's my favorite character.
First, the name I'd been sitting on for 3 months, Arist Calorum, that I didn't look up on dndnames.com/races.
/racist. Yeah, nice.
/racist.
Yeah, I logged into Stormfront to find a cool name for my drow or my high elf.
And you too can find our podcast on Stormfront if you want to rate, subscribe.
We'll take it off of there when we get popular. We just really need the numbers.
We sure need the numbers. We're on that 5 subscriber creep.
But yeah, go ahead and follow us on YouTube and Spotify at Dungeon Guild, and on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Dungeon Guild Pod. Alor just rolled 2 dirty 20s in a row. I don't know what that's about.
Alor's rolling unarmed strikes. Wait, hold on. Classic punchies. Oh, guess who also rolled a 20?
Yo!
What is going on?
Crit punches.
Again?
My crit damage.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
It was a 19.
Yibs and Alor are having a fucking DBZ fight in the back of the boat.
Oh no. It's over.
Great. It's gonna be a tough session next week. You guys just got all your good rolls out.
I rolled a 20 into a 19.
Good night, everybody.
Have a
Have a good one, you guys.